Howdy YouTube, Zipdisk here, and welcome to Day 7, the final day of my Seekers Week reviews. I've been waiting on this one for last, and this is actually going to be a two-parter. The first part's going to be about the figure and a little bit about that, and the second part's going to be a Defending the Indefensible video wherein this character gets talked about. Okay, been saving this one for last because this is the original Seeker, sort of. This is Encore 04 Starscream. Basically G1 Starscream with a few differences. One of the major differences being that his Decepticon logos are not stickers, they are tampagraphs, which is the process they use to put faction symbols on things these days, and most of the decorations on these things. He still comes with his Decepticon rub symbol, of course. Let's see if I can get some of that rub symbol action. The answer seems to be no. Let me give it a little bit more time. Anyway, this is Starscream. Everybody knows who Starscream is. Second in command of the Decepticons. Megatron's foil. There you go. There's some Decepticon rub symbol action for you. Almost see that. Give it another rub. We can get that thing to come out fully. There you go. Decepticon rub symbol action. This guy is the original Seeker. He was the first mold, he was the first character, everything else comes after him. There are some significant differences between this and the G1. Cockpit canopy color is different. This nose cone is all rubbery, whereas I believe in the original it was stiff. And again, the tampagraphs really changed things. There's none of these stickers were already applied when I got him, as were these, so I didn't have to put any of that on, which is really nice, because that's a fiddly bit. So, you know it's Starscream, you know it's G1. Time for his transformation. If you've never done this before, this is an odd one. He's pretty much a parts former. Pull off the landing gear and set it to the side. Pull off the wings and set them to the side. One thing I have a question on, anyone who's got an original G1, I don't have an original G1 Starscream, are the wings that gappy? Do they really gap that much on the sides, or is that just in this Encore version? Just a question. Slide his wings off like so. Slide these stabilizers off like so. I think we can leave these in place though for now. Okay, nose cone. Flip that nose cone out and then push the arms out from behind. Whoops, I couldn't show that on camera. Push these arms out from behind and split them so you get them out to the side like so. Take these bits right here, flip them down, they form his robot feet. Okay, so I've also got a little guy in the cockpit. My brother gave me a tiny little man that goes in scale with this guy, more or less. So he's got a pilot. Not that Starscream needs a pilot. You take the nose cone out. You flip, okay, take the nose cone, break it down, flip it around. That's how it goes. And you pull it back up, set it here, and flip it down. And there you have Starscream's head. I don't have the stickers on the eyes because frankly I don't like eye stickers. I don't know why. I prefer light piping to eye stickers or painted eyes. I actually like painted eyes better, but this guy doesn't have them. And as you can see, he is in a very, very incomplete robot mode. That's because of all the parts you have to add on. Starting with his fists. His fists you have to add on. Now there's a variation on these fists in the original G1. There are these slotted fists and there are solid fists. Okay, you take the fist, you put them on. And they stay for the most part. They're not too loose. And there you have Starscream's fists. Move on to his weapons real quick. I'll set him aside for now. Okay, take his wings, and he's got these missile launchers underneath. And yes, they do work. And fire fairly far because these are the Japanese ones. The springs are not reduced. And you take out his null ray blasters, which look like this, as opposed to those little missile things, and you put those in here. As you can see, we've got his null rays. And those slot on nicely right on the side. You can see these kinds of have this peg with a post with a stay on the other side that fits right nice into the side of his arm to give him his famous null ray blasters. Yeah, everybody loves Starscream's null rays. So there is Starscream, almost finished. All I had to do is add on his wings, which have to go on upside down, as it was in the show. Decepticon symbols are upside down in robot mode. Now, one thing is, I'm not a huge fan of this mold, mainly because it's such a parts former, but it's G1, so I had to have at least one example of it in my collection. And this is Starscream in all of his robot glory. Doesn't look much like he did in the show, I will admit. Doesn't look half like he did in the show. But that's alright, because G1 was, you know, most of the bots didn't look like they did in their toy form, because it would have been impossible to animate things with this little articulation. I mean, all he's got is his arms, and they don't even go 360. Well, they can, but there's wings in the way. But he's got his null rays, which are his famous rays that nullify the electronics and other robots. He's Starscream. I mean, you gotta have a Starscream in your collection, at least one. And this was my version of a G1. Here's his box, by the way, which I wanted to show you real quick. This is Starscream's Encore reissue box, which is a very nice G1-ish style box. I really like the way the Transformers logo looks in Decepticon colors. The Fight Super Robot Lifeform Transformers! And then, of course, over his symbol it says Destron, which is the Japanese names for the Decepticons. And on the back it's got the famous scene, the one that's on all the G1, early G1 boxes of everybody fighting. And on the side it's got a picture of him transforming. On the other side it's got the same picture. And on top it's got more stuff. Or in the bottom, it's got this, which sort of shows him transforming, and it says, Jet Fighter, Transform, Starscream! Yeah. Like this box. I'm keeping this box because it's very G1-y, but then I keep most of my boxes. I'm kind of a weirdo that way. Anyway, this is the guy that inspired this entire week. This is Starscream. And this is me with my final review for Seekers Week. Coming up next is, I'm talking about Starscream's role in the Kiss Players franchise. He doesn't have a figure in the Kiss Players line, but that's alright. There are reasons for this. Anyway, this is Zipdisk, Day 7, almost at the finale. G1-ish Encore Starscream. Like this figure, not a huge fan of the mold, but you gotta have a G1 Starscream in some way, shape, or form in your collection. It's just almost a prerequisite. Like, you gotta have a G1 Optimus Prime. Anyway, you guys have a good one, and I'll see you in a few minutes with Defending the Indefensible, Starscream. Have a good day.